Hi, my name is TJ, and this was the Fire Me podcast, but I felt like that wasn't very catchy, and I thought it was too much to say. So now we're just gonna call this Home with TJ. I wanted it to be consistent with the rest of my social media, so if you guys are on TikTok, you guys can follow me there on Home with TJ, and you guys can also find me on Spotify, which is also Home with TJ. For you Spotify listeners, this is going to be my first episode, and for all you YouTube and TikTok watchers and everything, hopefully you guys can find me on Spotify. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, do whatever you guys are going to do, and thanks for tuning in. So they got UFC this weekend. I think it's UFC 302, and the main event's what I'm really excited about. I'm a big fan of Dustin Poirier, and I'm a big fan of Islam Makhachev too. So the fact that they're going to be fighting each other is not very ideal, but it should make for an interesting fight. And honestly, I'm pretty excited for it. I don't have a prediction for the fight, but I just hope it's a good one. I do think that either guy can get it done. So I don't know. Anything could happen. Also, I guess Sean Strickland is going to be fighting Paulo Costa. Apparently, that's still going on. I've seen all kinds of stuff on YouTube saying that the fight's off, that, Costa's not going to be able to make it for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but there's always something going on with like social media and that guy. People are always saying that he's going to back out or he's not going to be able to make the fight. It's crazy that I watch the UFC and boxing and everything like every weekend pretty much. My wife is also a big fan too. It's something that we typically bond over. We usually grab something to eat. Either we'll make something, order something, and then we'll kind of hang inside for the night for all the fights. Back when we first started watching the fights and everything, that's when we would have a bunch of family coming over all the time. So we would have her family, my family, or we'd be streaming it somehow. We'd be on FaceTime or not FaceTime, but like Snapchat, or we'd be borrowing somebody's account or something. We'd be streaming it just so they could also watch with us, but not really with us. Also, I guess was it last weekend? Yeah, it was a Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight, and I guess they lost a bunch of money that in my opinion, they didn't have because nobody really paid for it, and they recorded it as a loss because nobody really paid for it. But I guess there was a lot of illegal streaming, so they lost out on like millions of dollars, which honestly I think that's pretty cool. Hopefully in the future that will bring prices down. Also in a few weeks, I guess. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are going to fight. That should be pretty good. I don't know who I think is going to win. I haven't done a whole lot of following on their camps or anything. Honestly, to me, it doesn't matter. Either way, Conor's a big name. He's going to get to do whatever he wants regardless. And Michael Chandler's been sitting around this whole time, so he's going to get his paycheck, and then he's probably either going to retire or he's going to try to just be more active again. Just my opinion, but honestly, I think Michael Chandler should have been more active, a little more active at least. I don't remember the last time he fought. Honestly, one of my least favorite fighters is Ilia Topuria right now because the cockiness of that guy, it can go both ways. What I do admire is his confidence, but I also believe that is 100% cockiness as well. He kind of gives me the vibe of like fake humbleness, and just kind of riding whatever trends are going on, or trying to bring back old trends in a way that he wants to be the new Conor McGregor. He's the bigger athlete now, the highest paid one, and I just think that's kind of played out. I really think it's played out. I think he needs to find his own thing and just be himself. This whole manifesting is cool, but when it comes to his cockiness and being overconfident, there's a fine line that he definitely crosses every time. And, in my opinion, I'm not here for it. However, he is a really good fighter. That dude is crazy. If there's any UFC fighter that I feel like could actually go into boxing, I feel like he could possibly be the one to actually be successful. Yeah, and as far as boxing, I haven't seen anything too exciting, really. I saw that there was a press conference with Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez, and I thought it was kind of funny that Benavidez was on his undercard. This past weekend, there was another guy that's in 168 that's actually ranked in all the other governing entities in boxing. That dude had his own. He was the main event. It wasn't a pay-per-view or anything, but he was his own main event still. And honestly, I kind of put it into perspective for myself a little bit too, why Canelo might not see the money behind David Benavidez. Last week, my sister-in-law graduated from high school, so it was at one of the local arenas, and luckily for us, right next to it was our football stadium. I think about 2 years ago, David Benavidez couldn't sell out the little stadium that my sister-in-law graduated in, which was, it was a former hockey arena, and they used to put on shows and stuff in there. But compare that size to the football arena, the football stadium that was right next to it. Canelo sells out, huge arenas. It's crazy. He doesn't have to go this low to go into smaller venues like that. Especially for somebody to still be fighting on somebody else's undercards. I feel like Canelo really just does not need Benavidez either. With his record and everything he's already accomplished, I don't know where people are getting this thing where Canelo needs Benavidez, in my opinion. And to be honest, I think just Benavidez needs Canelo is the thing. If the dude can't get any fights and he doesn't want to take fights or anything, then that's on him. I've said it before that dude's like a weight bully. I think recently in the last couple weeks, he's been on interviews and stuff saying that he's been teasing that he's going to be moving up to heavyweight at some point, and that he's already at light heavyweight and he wants to go to cruiserweight, that he'd be good. So I don't think that he really belongs at 168. Maybe it's me, but when I was in high school, I was in wrestling and everything too, and naturally I would walk around at 160, and I would cut weight to 145, which was what, 15 pounds. I don't see the advantage of losing the 40 pounds, 50 pounds to get down to 168 if he's naturally walking around over 200 pounds. Anyway, that's just my thought. And yeah, me and my wife, we tried being a little healthier this past few weeks, but that did not work out very well. I was trying to be active every day for 30 days, but I feel like that was a little too aggressive for just starting out. I wanted to be active for at least 20 minutes a day, which ended up being an hour a day. And I wanted to lose 6 pounds in 30 days, that was attainable also. I just feel like it was the wrong timing for me, trying to be that aggressive. I should have been a little more forgiving of myself because I've been out of shape for a very long time. So I feel like I should have been a little easier on my short-term goals just to condition myself more. Also, I don't know what happened last week after my son's swim class. He's 6 months. He's almost 6 months. We've been taking him to swim class for the last few months. Well, one of the kids, they were sick. They were probably not sick. They were, they had the runny nose. They were coughing, sneezing, and everything all over the pool. And they just so happened to be next to us the entire time. The following day, later that day, and then, the days afterwards, I was pretty sick. I was congested. It felt like I had a sinus infection, post-nasal drip kind of stuff. I had a really bad migraine, just felt very like cold-like symptoms. So I was sweating so bad, and then I'd get the chills, and then, I just wasn't feeling too good at all. My wife was off for a couple of days, so it did help that she was able to, help take care of the baby when I was sick. It was definitely some much needed time to rest because, there was one day when I was really sick taking care of the baby, and I don't know how other parents could do it. I'm fortunate in my situation to where me and my wife are very present with our son, and we're very active in our parenting. So there's not a whole lot of I think it's called solo parenting is what I hear people call it, where it's like they're involved, but one of them prioritizes working, and then the other one stays at home and takes care of the homemaking and everything like that. Well, we're definitely not like that. We hold each other accountable for taking care of the baby as much as we can, and we just kind of feed off of each other, trying to be the best parents we could be. It was a lot of help that she was actually she was off of work for those few days, so I was able to rest and take care of things for myself, my health, and everything. So I was not able to fulfill my activity requirement for myself that I did, and I also did not lose any weight yet either. But to be honest, I still have another like week and a half. But I don't know how I'm going to catch up at this point. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing and being as active and whatever I can do. My end goal is just to be overall healthier. I don't want to compete in any weightlifting competitions. I don't want to go into any kind of like combat sports. I don't want to join any teams or anything like that. I just want to be in better shape. This way I'm more capable of taking care of my son and playing with him and, taking care of him and doing things with my wife too. And, being active and not in constant pain 24/7. And unfortunately, because I was sick and my son was exposed to that other child, I think that's where he got his sickness from. I wouldn't say he's sick right now, but he's definitely very congested. And since yesterday, his congestion has gotten worse. It was crazy. We picked him up from waking up in the morning yesterday, and his face was just covered in boogers and everything like that too. So it wasn't the prettiest sight, and it was definitely very alarming as a first time parent. Thankfully today he did not wake up like that, but he was very congested still. And I've been doing like the saline sprays, and I've been trying to use like the bulb suckers, and we have a nose Frida that I don't know where the little foams are to fix the filter and everything, to clean it out and everything. So we have one of those, and I've just been trying to keep him not stuffed up, or as much as I can. And it's really scary too. All the research I do, just for different things I could do to take care of my son, take better care of him, they always go back to talking about like SIDS, and I'm like, man, I don't understand why there's something like that. The inner parent in me that's desperate for my son to feel better is saying like, something needs to happen. Somebody needs to do this research, because the longer we don't have any answers on why SIDS happens, the more babies we're going to lose in the world. I don't know, man. It's tough, and it's heartbreaking when you see them struggle a little bit. Thankfully he's not like lethargic or anything crazy like that. He's just real congested and easily irritable, and he doesn't want to finish his bottles as much as he wants to, but that's to be expected from what I gathered. So I went to this it was one of those Tractor Supply stores or something like that, and apparently they have like a mobile vet service inside of it, and I thought it was really cool. Pretty much it's just like a walk-in clinic, and it's not really a clinic at all. They are allowed to take up one whole aisle in this store, and it's pretty much like 3 whole aisles. And this clinic, they do vaccinations, they do like wellness checkups, they do all kinds of stuff just mobily through the store. And I think it was pretty cool. We have 2 dogs here in our house with us. We have a German Shepherd and we have an Alaskan Malamute. And I wanted to start taking better care of them. My wife also wanted to start taking better care of them too. So we started with something as simple as get a rabies shot. What I did last time was I made some planters in the back where they have these the 4x4 posts, and we're hanging string lights from them. I ended up installing a hook to one of them, and I just hooked the leash on right there, and we had our own kind of like dog wash station right there. So we've been doing it that way for the last couple months, and just trying to take care of their hair and everything. It's just been pretty rough. So we're still working on that, and hopefully that doesn't attribute to my son's congestion or my congestion or anything like that. And yeah, we've been trying to get on a cooking schedule also, which is pretty hard, I would say. And I don't know really where to start, because there is only 2 of us, and typically we try to cook for the next day. This way we have something quick and easily accessible, just in case we're in a rush. And I want to get more consistent with home eating. So does my wife. And I feel like there's a lot of recipes that that are pretty simple, but because we have a lack of time, I would say, because we always tend to our, we always have to tend to each other, our son and everything like that. And we always just have something going on. We just need to practice cooking more. That's pretty much all we need to do. We just need to practice cooking more. So today I got some chicken defrosting, and I'm gonna do chicken Alfredo tortellini, I guess. And next week, I guess I'm gonna try to do a teriyaki beef and a teriyaki chicken bowls with probably some jasmine rice or something like that, and probably incorporate some veggies in there somewhere. But I guess we'll work on that one. And yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say today. My son's already waking up, so I got to go check on him and get him all cleaned up and everything. So, like I said, this is now called Home with TJ. Thank you for tuning in. You can follow me on TikTok at Home with TJ. Follow me on YouTube, or subscribed on YouTube, excuse me. We're now going to call that one Home with TJ, and you can also find this on Spotify. Like I said, this is going to be our first episode on Spotify. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you next time.